Hey, what's up everyone? It's Justin here, and today I'm very excited to bring you the review of Konova's Motorized K5 slider kit. So first, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Konova for sending us out for reviewing purposes, and this has become a piece of video equipment that I pretty much live by. I couldn't imagine not having it at this point. In the past, I have had many different sliders, a few Konova sliders, I've also had a Kessler recently, but a problem I always had was consistency. Having to operate a slider by hand, for a lot of us, it is very hard to get a smooth shot every time, and in a lot of cases I had to try over and over again to get the perfect shot. I even found that the case with high-end and more expensive sliders out there. But often due to the price, a lot of people disregard motorized sliders. But Konova actually offers quite a few bundles that are at very reasonable prices. In Konova's slider line, they have the K2, the K3, the K5 which I've got in front of me, and the K7. These sliders pretty much do share quite a few of the primary features throughout, but the difference comes in terms of the weight that is able to support and the types of bearings that are inside them. The K5 in my opinion is the best all-round option to go, as it has a too large wide bearing system. And especially for those who plan to use this with a heavier camera setup down the road, this is very important. Konova has done a tremendous job in designing this slider, and I'm going to show you why. First, there are holes everywhere, whether you want to mount it on a tripod on the middle or on the ends, but also the fact that each end also has a special mount that allows it to be expandable in the future, which is what you're going to see later. And another great thing is that there is a bubble level built in, as well as numbers going across the length of the slider to give you the exact measurements of where your slides are in order to end and start at the right points. With every slider kit, Konova also includes something called Advanced Feet, and this is great. This allows you to prop your slider on all terrains or ground surfaces and adjust the height very specifically through the feet, as well as adjust the angle on each side and each four legs. This can screw on and off directly to the end of the slider, and I noticed a lot of other slider companies actually charge you a significant extra for the legs. Konova also includes a very high quality carrying case. So now it's time to talk about the motor aspect of the Konova K5, which is what really makes this bundle special. In the basic bundle, you will be receiving the slider as well as the Konova MS motor that is made specifically for their sliders, as well as the control box version 1. And going back to how well the Konova sliders are thought out, the Konova K5 initially came out a few years ago, and with more accessories being introduced by Konova, you can see that they have done a very good job setting themselves up for accessories to come out, and for people who may have previously just purchased a slider, it makes it very easy for you to purchase these accessories and add it straight to your setup. The MS motor kit is also an accessory that just screws onto the plate, and they have also included the adapters. It is pretty much a motor that has a belt pulley system, and it comes in 3 different speeds, whether it is a 250 to 1, the 50 to 1, and 1500 to 1. And going back to the 2 slots that Konova has integrated into their slider, it makes it very easy for you to install the MS motor kit. It comes with a belt the same length as the slider you have, and by attaching both ends to the ends of the slider and the motor onto the plate, you're pretty much good to go. Konova includes all the necessary screws to maintain the bearings, attach the different parts, as well as all the necessary cables for your slider. With the basic bundle, you also get the control box version 1, and this can be used for quite a few things, whether it is other Konova accessories such as a smart pan and tilt. But for this purpose, we are using it to operate the MS motor. You can see that there is a game style joystick on the top, as well as a left ramp and right ramp button, a 3-axis mode that allows you to switch between the mode, a pan and tilt which we won't be using, as well as a slide speed. Of course, there is also the power button as well. Really, my only complaint about the slider is the cable management system. The cables are often extremely loose and I'm not sure what to do with them. And also the fact that I'm often not sure where to put the control box. So it would have been nice if they included an arm or something that can allow it to rest on top of the slider. But by no means is that a deal breaker. Flipping it over the bottom, you will see an Ethernet style port which we won't be using, as well as a tripod thread for mounting, as well as a power port and the 2 limiter switches. Another intelligent thing that Konova has done is added a ridge to the design of the control box, that way it can rest on top of your slider when you're not using it very easily. So let's plug everything in and show you how it works. To turn on the power, just hold on the power button for 3 seconds, and there is 2 different modes. The first one uses the joystick and you can just point it to the direction back and forth, and to let go of it, it will stop the slider. But if you want to stop at the exact part, just switch the mode and it will stop immediately. Just a little bit of a tip there that I found very handy. Another way you can use it is preset the speed and just tap on the pan and tilt, and once you tap on it again, it will stop the slider. But personally, I enjoy using the other mode as it allows me to adjust the speed while the slider is moving. But perhaps depending on what MS motor model you have, for time lapses, this mode will be more handy. So we're going to switch modes once again, and you can see in the mode where you utilize the joystick, which is the one that I normally use, you are able to adjust the speed as the slider is moving, which is pretty cool depending on the shot you're trying to get. This motor is also very strong, and from testing it, I was able to do shots where the camera was completely vertical. And to turn off the slider, just hold on the power button for 3 seconds once again, so you could see it was all very easy to use. Of course, with a motorized slider, you do have to plug it into a wall outlet. However, that isn't always accessible. In my case, I purchased a separate accessory, which is a battery pack that either takes AA or a special Sony camera battery that allows you to use it out and about, and as you can see, it comes in a really nice case that complements the whole setup. Another thing I noticed about the MS motor is that as it approaches the end of the slider, instead of continuing, it does have a little bit of a limiter switch, so it bounces off the back and stops the slider automatically, as you can see here. So I've had the Konova slider now for I believe about 3 months, and I've used it in every single one of my videos, perhaps too much. And I have to say, this thing is an absolute freaking joy. I could not live without it. It is extremely smooth, and it is always able to get these shots right the first time. And although a motorized slider is more pricey than a regular slider, obviously, looking back at how many sliders I had purchased, I wish I had just bought this the first time. You really cannot go wrong with a motorized slider. And if you did check out other manufacturers that make motorized sliders, Konova definitely offers the best value. And I definitely recommend people out there who plan to make videos for a couple years to invest in this for the long run. I just cannot stress enough how important this piece of equipment has been to me. And I'm sure you have noticed it in every video. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and this has just been a review of the Konova Basic Bundle Kit with K5 slider. And if you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button as it helps this channel out a bunch, and I'll see you all in the next video.